2, 1. Hello. I don't know why I introduced myself like that again. So we're continuing with LeLeo Code's Valentine's Massacre Week. I have another competitor with us. Could you please introduce us to yourself?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Scottie Whittaker. I'm from originally from Paris, Kentucky, but now I live down here in St. Pete, Florida. I trained at a Mastermind MMA Academy in Pinellas Park, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the interview. Looking forward to the event.
So what brought you to Florida?
I actually served 4 years in the Coast Guard. I just got out.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Oh yeah, thank you. I just got out. I got stationed down here for 4 years, and I wound up here. Yeah, I'm still here. So
I've been like stalking your posts online. How country are you?
You know, it's funny. If you ask people back home, they would say I'm not that country. But
Really?
when I come here, everybody thinks I'm country. So, you know, I would say somewhere in between those two. You know, I'm born and raised in Kentucky, so I've got that background. I've got that culture in me, and I love it. You know, I'm proud of that. But I'm definitely not a redneck by any means. But you know, I am a little country. I like that lifestyle and that culture. So.
Okay, cool. So what got you started involved in martial arts in the first place?
So I actually didn't get involved until I was 23 years old. So a little late start compared to most guys or girls. But I actually just wanted to try it out one day. You know, I love competing. I've competed my whole life. I played college baseball. So I played baseball my whole life. But then after that ended, I needed something to fuel that competitive fire. And I stepped into a gym and fell in love. So ever since then, you know, I've fallen in love with it. It's a passion of mine now. You know, it's pretty much all I do with my life. So
Awesome. Okay. What have you had to overcome mentally, physically, or emotionally to prepare for this upcoming event?
Of course. Well, I mean, a lot really. You know, every fighter goes through a lot. I know a lot of people don't talk about it probably, but you know, the stress leading up to a fight, it's a lot. You know, you're putting in a lot of time and effort. You're sacrificing time and effort. You know, I've got a fiance at home. I've got pets at home that are relying on me. They miss time with me, and you know that obviously adds stress. But at the same time, you know, you're making that sacrifice knowing that you're putting in the work to get the job done. So with that being said, you know, it's a lot of natural stress, but it makes you better. You know, it makes you better. You know, you're going out there and putting in the work for something. So the stress is a lot, but it makes you perform better, in my opinion.
So what is your schedule looking like on a day-to-day basis?
Day-to-day basis, I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I'll get up. I'll have a little breakfast. I go to work for the day. Right now, I'm a marine mechanic, but I actually just got a new job. I'm getting ready to start working with preschoolers. So I'm excited.
Oh my God, what?
So I'm getting ready to be a preschool teacher. I'm really excited about that. I actually start, it's funny, the Monday after my fight. But really pumped about that. But anyway, my schedule's been, I wake up at 6:30, I go to work, I get off, you know, I get home about 4:30. I come home, I try to take a little nap, a power nap, and hit the gym. And then, you know, I'm usually at the gym from about 6 to 9:30. And then I'll come home, I'll eat my dinner, recoup, spend a little time with the family, and, you know, call it a night.
Wow. That's, I mean, but I'm sure that having served, you're already used to like having a schedule.
Yes. Yeah. I mean that, you know, I'm used to having a strict schedule. I will say more so now than ever. I'm thankful because I get to come home every night. Before I didn't get to come home every night. So it was hard. It was hard to train. You know, I couldn't train at my gym, Mastermind MMA Academy every night before. This is actually my first full camp where I've been able to train every night. So really excited about that. And I'm like I said, looking forward to the opportunity to showcase that. But yeah, used to the schedule. The one other thing that I've added into my life, you know, I'm also enrolled at USF getting my master's degree. So it's hectic right now. But it's, you know, I'm making it happen. A little less sleep here and there, but putting in the time.
What are you planning on studying?
I'm actually getting an elementary education. So, I plan on, being an elementary education teacher after, I get my degree and then open up my own gym one day and, coaching kids. So
I would never assume that a professional fighter would want to be a elementary school teacher. I'm sure you get that all the time.
Every time. Really, why? That, that doesn't, they don't really coexist, or people don't think they coexist. Everybody views fighting as brutal, violent, and, it can be, obviously, but at the same time, there's much more to it, a lot of life lessons and a lot of growing and learning and balance. So
True. Oh, it's like Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
What?
Yeah, I haven't seen that. But a lot of people, they relate it to what's the movie with
Major Pain.
Major Pain. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. But the one with the heavier set white guy, he's a teacher, but he fights. Here Comes the Boom. That's what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Silly movie, but that's a lot of people related to that. So
that's so fun. Okay, so going off the rail a little bit, not talking about martial arts right now. Valentine's Day is coming up. I don't know if you know that or not.
Of course.
What's the most romantic thing that you've ever done or received for Valentine's Day?
Good question. That's a good question. The most romantic thing that I've done. So the most romantic thing that I've done probably would be last year. My fiance, I got her a ring, and she really appreciated that. I guess I'm not good with being super romantic, but I try my best. And as far as for me, she actually wrote me a bunch of letters to open on certain days. So they're like customized letters for if I'm having a bad day or having a good day, or if I'm feeling any type of way. She wrote me a bunch of letters. So that's probably the nicest thing I've ever had done for me. Obviously coming from her. So
that's such a good idea. I'm going to steal that actually for this Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I was genuinely happy and really surprised by it. So
I like that a lot. Okay. So when it comes to love and war, and I'm sure that as you get older and start to see, and also having served, seeing like the good, the bad, and the ugly of humans, do you think that love is a bit childish?
Do I think love is childish? Yeah, it has to be, right? It has to be because, when you love anything, really, sometimes you become ignorant to things that may or may not be what some could consider best for you, right? Yeah. And without getting too deep, when you love someone else, you're sitting here and you'll do anything for them, right? You'll do anything for them. And in a way, you're kind of like a kid. Your ignorance is bliss. So you'll just go and you'll do. Same thing with martial arts, though. So you fall in love with martial arts. You put your body through a lot of things, regardless of how you feel or things of that nature, just like a kid would do. Kids don't think about, oh, it's going to hurt me if I go wrestle. They enjoy it. They're having fun. So yeah, I think the concept for that, for both of those works really well.
I didn't even think about that. That's really, really good. Do you think that you have to believe in yourself to be successful in what you do?
Have to. You have to.
Why?
I don't think you can succeed without it. And to be honest with you, I think it's everything. So anything you do in life, like kind of we were talking about earlier, you have to manifest what you're doing. So if you don't believe in you and you can't put it in your own head that you're going to be somewhere, then how are you ever going to get there? If you can't see yourself getting to a certain point in life, regardless of what it is, then how do you expect to actually have the motivation to go out and do these things? So at the end of the day, you got to believe in you. You're the only one that lays down at night and has thoughts in your head. So it's very important for you to believe in yourself, because you're stuck with your thoughts at the end of the night. And that's what gets you to wherever you want to be.
Yeah. So Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and
I'm
even
Conor
McGregor.
We joke about this all the time at the gym, but go ahead.
Oh no! What's the joke? What is it? What is it?
We don't even entertain it. We don't. I mean, what they're doing is awesome for them. They're smart. They're super smart.
Yeah.
And if I had the resources, of course, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? It'd be dumb not to. They make a lot of money, and they're smart about what they do. But it would be nice for everybody to have the resources that they have and train as much as they do, dedicate that time that they do without having to work a regular 9 to 5 job, having to worry about paying bills and stuff. But they're smart. They're very smart. I don't think people give them enough credit for how smart they are and what they're doing. A lot of people like to throw shade at them, and I get it. Some people have been doing this their whole lives and they haven't reached that level. So it's frustrating. It can be frustrating for someone just to pop on the scene and do what they've done. But they're smart about what they're doing, and props to them.
Do you ever feel pressure to be like a personality in order to grow? Like fame, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
No, I get what you're saying. That's definitely pushed in this sport, right? It is. But me personally, no, not at all. I'm always going to be myself. I'm never, I don't trash talk. It is what it is. I'm going to be confident in myself, of course. I'm going to respect my opponent. Like I know they're grinding, or I expect them to grind like I am. So if they're that type of person, I know their game, they're showing up that day. It is what it is. I don't feel the need to be someone I'm not. I don't think that I would get anywhere in life being someone I'm not. So
true.
And
true.
Even if I did get somewhere, I wouldn't be happy with how I did it. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I feel that. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Running water never grows stale, so you just have to keep on flowing.
Yeah, you pulled that.
Yeah. What does that mean?
So I'm big Bruce Lee fan. A lot of people have their own opinion or whatever, but as far as philosophy goes, I love everything that he has to say. I take a lot from it. But that quote is huge for me because it's helped me get through a lot of hard times in life. So it's just like in fighting. If you stand still too long in life and you let things either get to you, good or bad, you stop your progression. You don't grow into the ultimate person that you can be, the best version of yourself. So, anything bad happens to you in life, you lose a loved one or, a family tragedy. If you stay too long in that moment and you allow it to take over who you are, you're going to stop your life. Your life's going to be halted. And it's the same thing in a fight. If you get hit in the face and you stand there, you're going to keep getting hit. You got to move. You got to move in life. You got to move in a fight. And that's honestly how I try to live my life. I try to put things after they happen, whether it's good or bad, put them in the past, move on.
That's very, you have no idea what kind of day I've had. So like, I needed to hear that.
No, I hope it resonates with a lot of people because it's important. A lot of people get stuck up on bad things that happen, and sometimes it's inevitable. You're going to have moments where you break down, but at the end of the day, you got to keep going.
Yeah. Okay, so Scottie, where can we like you, stalk you, follow you, all that fun stuff?
Well, I'm actually not extremely active on social media. However, I do have obviously a Facebook page, and then I've got an Instagram page. It's war_horse_MMA. That's that's my Instagram, and then my Facebook is just Scottie Whittaker. But like I said, I actually am not that active on social media. I kind of stay in my own bubble. I'll hop on there occasionally, but nothing.
And then you have Mastermind MMA Academy.
Yes. Everybody, if you're looking to get into training, or even if you just want to come check the gym out, or you want to get a different look, sparring, or learn a couple new things, great atmosphere, good culture, good people. Mastermind MMA Academy in Pinellas Park. Jason Jimenez is the professor there. Great guy, great people, good family atmosphere.
Awesome. And then last question, then I'm gonna let you go. These violent delights have violent ends. How can we find the romance in violence?
Good question. So to find the romance and violence. So in a way, I've always said this, and I could talk about this forever. But anytime you're fighting someone or even sparring, you get a gauge of someone else's energy, right? You can feel if they're timid. You can feel if they're afraid. You can feel if they're comfy. All these things. And when you go in and you share the cage with someone, there's a certain, it's true. This is the best word I can think of it, but there's a certain intimacy that you have with that feeling with that person. It doesn't have to be romantic, obviously, but you just feel that other person's energy, and you gain a respect for them. You know what they're about, that sort of thing. And ultimately, when you go through war with someone, you gain respect. Every fight that I've had, every opponent after shook their hand, been cool with them. And, we've gained mutual respect. And I think that's important. I think it's very important to recognize that. And I think most fighters do that. You have occasional people that aren't like that. So be it, that's who they are. But for the most part, in any type of violence, referring to mixed martial arts or in that cage, the person that I'm in there with is gonna have my respect at the end of the day. So,
yeah, respect is crucial when it comes to having to deal with conflict, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously depending on the circumstances. If certain lines are crossed, then sometimes respect can go out the window. But for the most part, conflict and respect can go hand in hand if you choose to handle it in a classy manner, I guess you should say. But class can go out the window if certain things happen. I'm not going to deny that.
Scottie, this has been an absolute pleasure, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I definitely appreciate you taking your time to talk to me, and I cannot wait to meet you this Saturday, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the interview, and thanks for giving me the platform to talk. So,
of course, I'll see you this weekend, man. Have a good night.
Have a good one.